mean, this is, I mean, we talked about this on the show yesterday. This is genuinely outrageous that anyone, I don't care whether you work for the NHS or some fancy private clinic, but accessing people's health records, either because you're nosy or you want to sell them to someone, is an abominable thing to do.
Abominable. And obviously, for the London clinic, it's deeply embarrassing. And for the CEO, particularly when you think the London clinic is all about high net worth individuals who probably want to go there thinking my privacy, my health is going to be absolutely off limits to anybody else. And so it's not a good look. So the CEO, no doubt, will have some questions to answer, because it's not just one. If it's three, then three of his staff are gone.
There's always going to be wrong one wrong one. But again, if three people work together... But this is the thing, you know, was it just like, oh, I wonder what she's in for, I wonder what she's had done, let's see her medical records. Again, that's still appalling and totally unprofessional. But if they were actually being asked by... You know, I mean, again, media organisations in this country would not be allowed to use that information, would not do that. That is literally, that is end of your career and frankly, your freedom. But we know that around the world there are unscrupulous websites, that, you know, the equivalent, the paparazzi who do the long lens shots of someone in private property. This sort of information could go for big money. And
this is the problem, because we have no control. If some overseas organisation wants to get it, and there is a high level of curiosity as to what is wrong with the Princess of Wales, that it's always some employee probably felt, oh, God, I'm going to earn a few quid here, and has tried to get around the system. So for the London clinic, it is bad. And actually, you just hope it never happens anywhere else too. As you mentioned, the NHS. No one wants.
Oh, we know it. We know it does happen. We do know that. But again, it's fascinating. They didn't try and access the King's medical records. It's interesting. There isn't as much, you know, much money in that. Apparently, it seems very bizarre.
But actually, he's told what he went in.
He's been given more
information.
information.
So he was more. We don't know what kind of cancer he's got, but at least we know he's got cancer, and he's not been working in a public capacity, although he's carrying on in a private way.
There's been much more mystery surrounding Kate, hasn't there? Do you think, look, I'm teasing because he knows his stuff, you've got better royal contacts than most people who claim to be royal commentators as well, I know. But in terms of how the palace has handled this, we spoke to a former press secretary to the late Queen on the show yesterday, Simon Lewis. Right now, what would you have done differently? You know, this thing, did they... I thought, you know, she's going in for planned abdominal surgery, saying that it's abdominal surgery, and then saying, we're not going to say you anything else, and she's going to be out again after Easter, you know, end of. And I don't know about you, I'm thinking, well, fine, fair enough, that's it. No, get on with it. You know, if you have the recovery time that you need, blah, blah, blah. Was it unrealistic of them to expect, though, that a lot of people who are obsessed with the royals, for whatever reason, would accept that length of time out of the public eye and that little information? That's
been the problem. And I think the Kensington Palace press office now need to take a look at sort of how it's crisis management, isn't it? And they've got to review how they dealt with it.
Look, did they create the crisis, though?
To some extent, they may have done that. Photoshop.
Should they have slipped some more stuff out, more pictures out earlier?
But William is fiercely protective of his wife's privacy.
Yes,
and it comes from him.
Good luck with that, is my response, unfortunately, when you're in the public eye that way.
That is the problem, because they have a public responsibility. She hasn't been seen since Christmas Day. But it clearly, whatever's been wrong with her, has been bad. So we have to accept that on face.
It's her sodding business, not ours. That's the thing. Is this a problem, Philip Ingram, with the sort of celebrification of the royal family, particularly the younger royals, where people say, well, I get to know everything about, you know, a Kardashian or some other Hollywood film star. I mean, I still don't know what the Kardashians do. But I know exactly. So I think I've got a right to know about Kate.
I think it is, and it's not just from a UK perspective. It's this global perspective that's in there, because it creates global interest, and that's something that I don't think the palace has quite got in their comms plans that are out there. But I've got a slightly different view on the hospital. I think actually, if anything had been accessed, it would have been out there on the black market already. And the hospital has actually identified people.
And they said they attempted to access.
Attempted to access and stopped it from happening, and are investigating. So that's a good way to say they're.
I suppose, or even though we didn't hear about it immediately, I don't think the fact that we know about this at all is probably a good thing.
I think it is a good thing, because the palace would have known about it, that this has happened. And you just hope that the CEO has done the due diligence and basically dealt with this problem going forward. He's got to work out now, build trust again within people going to the London clinic.
Yeah, but again, like, where else are you going to go? And, you know, I said at the time, go to the NHS, everyone said no, they want their privacy. Well, there we are, that's what's happened. Really great to have you here in the studio, Rupert Bell. Thank you very much.